at some point in 2023, I actually thought I was going to quit because I just wasn't enjoying it anymore and I felt stuck. Your success is what you deem to be successful. For me, the end goal was always to end up in Japan.
Welcome back to Grapple Theory. Thanks so much for joining us once again. And this week, we're joined by the amazing Debbie Keitel, but not usually like we normally would over here in the UK or in Ireland, out in Japan, which is incredible. And she's been there for a while. Debbie, thanks so much for joining us. It's great to have you here. How have you been?
Good. Ohayo gozaimasu. Onegaishimasu. Very, very well. I'm literally like 10 minutes out of the venue we just wrestled in today. So it's extremely hot here. So I have prepared my iced coffee for the interview.
Smart. I think it's good. You always need a bit of refreshing. I appreciate you doing it on such a quick turnaround. I mean, first of all, how was that show?
It was really, really good. We were the opener today. It was me and my tag partner, Sato-san. We're called Caffeine and Crush against Mizuki-san and Himiko-san as well. So I got the win. So
Nice. Love to hear that. And another amazing tag team name for Debbie Keitel, right? You thrive in just expertly named tag teams.
Yes, we do very, very well with the tag teams.
That's amazing. It's great to see you thriving out there. I mean, like we normally start by asking our guests how their last 12 months have been, but I mean, for you, it's been a bit of a whirlwind, right?
Yes, it's been pretty crazy. Like, I feel like last year, I very much kind of said to myself, I have more in me. I can do more, because I felt like I was very much at a standstill in like 2023. And at some point in 2023, I actually thought I was going to quit because I just wasn't enjoying it anymore. And I felt stuck. And I don't know, I just felt like all the doors were closed. And then after Christmas, going into 2024, I just had this realization that I have so much more to give, and that I was allowing other people to hold me back, whether it be their thoughts or, what they would think or anything like that, instead of just doing things for myself. So I said, with 2024, I'm just going to give it my absolute all. And if nothing happens, at least I gave it my all. And sure enough, I was sat in catering at WXW in Germany. I was sitting next to Anita Vaughn, and my phone went off. And I just said to Anita, I said, 1 sec, I just have to take this. Came back and I said to her, you're not going to believe me when I tell you this, but I'm actually moving to Japan. So it all happened very, very fast. And literally, I had a couple of months to kind of wrap things up. It was very much kept a secret. Nobody was supposed to know, only my very close friends. Literally flew out the first week of January, and I debuted the third week of January of 2025. And it's just been kind of nonstop since.
Yeah, I was going to say it seemed like a quick turnaround, because it seemed like, again, like you were sort of just doing your thing like regularly, like week to week, indie-wise. And then there was like a turning point midway through last year where you were having these matches and the outcomes of them were like, is it like, are you leaving? Are you signed? Are you quitting? Like, what's happening here? It felt like it was going to be the end of something.
Yeah.
And it was all very like, okay, this is weird. When you announced Japan, oh my God, I was so over the moon for you, because again, like you say, I think like, it's really interesting to hear you say like that you thought about quitting, that you thought like things were maybe like at a bit of a standstill career-wise. Because for so long, I think like, especially for myself, but I know other people I've talked to as well, thought like you were just one of the most underrated stars that we had here on the indies. And someone like, we're like, can't believe she's not signed, can't believe she's not out in Japan, can't believe she's not doing something else.
Yeah.
It felt like you really deserved that and needed that. But like, again, from what you're saying, like more so needed that in terms of like for what you thought your career needs to be.
Yeah, because I think everyone has this idea that in order to be successful, you have to be signed to like this major company. And like, I really do want to like, excuse my French, but I really do want to call bullshit on that, because your success is what you deem to be successful. So like, someone might go to WWE, someone might go to AEW, but that's not necessarily everyone's goal. You know what I mean? And this was very much a choice. And for me, the end goal was always to end up in Japan. It was never to go to a major company. It was to go to Japan, because that's where that's kind of where I had my awakening with wrestling. You know, the first time I came out here was in 2018. And up to that point, I was very much just kind of going through the motions. I was still learning. I was very, very new. I was very green. And I said to myself, in a couple of years, I'm going to come back out here and I'm going to make a name for myself. And that's always been the goal. So,
Yeah. And that call then you got at WXW, was that like, was there build up to that? Had that been in the works for a little while? Like, were you messaging back and forth being like, oh, this is potentially something that could happen? Or was it just, like you say, like quite out of the blue and like, oh, didn't expect that?
it was kind of out of the blue. I had spoken to a couple of people about where I might be best suited. And for me, Diana offer so much more than just, you know, a place on their roster. It genuinely is like a community. I've never experienced anything like this before. Women of my own age, women of all different ages. There's no, you know, you're too old, you're too young. It's just a very broad spectrum of talent. And I knew when I kind of looked into Diana, like there's championships that I actually can't, you know, compete for because I'm too young. And that is such a refreshing thing to hear. You know what I mean? So they do cater to all ages, and they're genuinely the nicest people I've ever met in wrestling. I am so fortunate. I'm so lucky. It's a community, it's a family. And when I reached out to them, just something inside me said that this is the right move. This is the right place. And like that, it happened very, very fast. I contacted them. They got back to me. We had a meeting and it was just go, go, go.
Which is incredible, which is great. I mean, like, and again, the fact that like you'd wanted that for so long, because I was going to ask really like, was there like oh, can I do this? Like, is it not too late, like in career wise, but like, is it the right move to move to Japan for a year, you know, life wise? Because that's always like a tough thing. Like, it sounds like it wasn't. It sounds like it was just like, yeah, like let's go it all in for it.
Yes. Like, I mean, I'm very fortunate. I was at a point in my life where my only real responsibility was my cat. And that's all I really needed to figure out. I had come to a point where I was in a position where I could kind of leave a lot of stuff behind and move forward. And I know a lot of people are not able to commit to something like that. So I am lucky that I was in that kind of position. And I wouldn't even put, you know, a year on this, because for me, like, this is where I want to be. So I'm hoping that that can be extended and I can be out here a lot longer. But yeah, for me, there was a couple of times where I thought, like, you know, is this like, because when you're an adult, you take a lot more into consideration financially, and like, you know, between having a home and a family and all that kind of stuff, you kind of have to weigh up those options. And I just kind of said to myself, for the first time in my life, I'm just not going to be an adult. I'm just going to make the choice and it will work out, because that's kind of what I live by. And for some reason, the last couple of years, I've kind of forgotten that. So then to just be like, do you know what? We're just going to do it. We're just going to go and see what happens. And that's literally what happened. It just went straight to Japan, didn't even think about it. And when I got here, I was like, oh my gosh.
I was going to say, like, it must have been excitement, but also, like, again, from what you were saying in terms of, like, wanting it for so long, for knowing that, like, it would be a turning thing for your, not just your career, but, like, your life as well. It must have been excitement, but also just, like, relief of, like, okay, it's done. Like, I'm here. I've like, made it.
Yes, for sure, for sure. And like when I got here, like, I don't know if many people know in Europe or in the UK, but when I landed, I came through immigration and there was a camera crew on me straight away, filming a documentary. There's a very famous program here in Japan called Why Did You Come to Japan? And I was a feature on that back in March, and it did wonders for the company Diana and myself here as well to get my name out there. But from the moment I landed in Japan, I have been followed by a camera crew. So, you know, that was, you know, in one way, I'll say it helped me get into a routine, because I had no time to think, you know, oh my God, did I make the right decision? Oh my God. It was very much like, you're live. So like the camera is on. So like I wasn't able to kind of have that moment of like, oh, I made it. It was just like, on, we're going, we're live. And for a couple of weeks, it really helped me kind of find my way here, because I feel like I would have been walking around like a headless chicken, not knowing what I was doing. But the fact that every day I knew, you know, I have to go here, I have to go there, I have to go there, I have to do this, you know, so very much helped me kind of jump straight in, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes like you need to be almost on autopilot, right? Like, because when you're not, things can just get too overwhelming.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense. I was like, well, like, I'm delighted for you. It's incredible to see you absolutely killing it out there. Like, I mean, like those moments, those matches, again, like just being on every show, it just seems like, again, just from what you post on social media and stuff, it just seems like you're taking everyone as like such a blessing, like such a big opportunity, such a moment that like can help you move forward. Like, is actually like, you know, working towards something that you wanted for so long.
Yeah. Yeah, like every day I wake up and I genuinely find myself like pinching myself because I cannot believe that I'm here and that like the hard work pays off. You know what I mean? Like, because for so long you're hustling and you're grinding and you're like, oh my God, it's never going to happen. Like, I'm just going to be stuck doing the same old thing over and over and nothing's going to happen. And then boom, one day it happens. So every day I wake up and I'm so grateful and like I genuinely pinch myself because I just cannot believe it actually happened.
Yeah, and if again from a fan's point of view, if that has kept Debbie Keitel in the ring, if that this move is what's kept you around wrestling rather than hanging up your boots, then it's a win-win for all of us, right? It's a win for you because you got your dream, and it's a win for us because we get to see you keep wrestling rather than hanging your boots up. So I think that's amazing. I mean, what have been your like standout moments out there so far?
I mean, the fact that I got to feature in a documentary that was screened, you know, across millions of people in Japan was incredible. And the fact that I got to wrestle Jaguar Yokota and Kyoko Inu, like a dream come true. Honestly, every match I've had out here afterwards, I'm like, I can't believe I just did that. I can't believe that just happened. I can't believe I wrestled that person. I can't believe I met that person. Like, it genuinely, I guess, to people here, this is just a Saturday or a Sunday. But to me, like, it's like every weekend, it's like Disneyland. It's like meeting these people that I've watched for so long or, you know, that I've admired. And obviously, like, working with Deanna, you know, they're very, very good to me and they're very kind and they're very cautious about where I work and who I work with. So, you know, they do act in a way that protects me, which I'm super grateful for because I feel like, you know, the same as the UK or same as Europe, there could be, you know, not every promoter has your best interest at heart, you know, so they're very cautious about where I work. So when I got the news that I was going to debut for Sendai and Stardom, I literally couldn't believe it. Like, I was sending voice notes into the group chat with Katie Harvey and Lyra Valkyria, and I was like, you're not going to believe this. But yeah, like, this is still only the beginning. Like, I'm only 5 months here and that's what I've achieved in 5 months. So like, I cannot wait to see what happens for the rest of the year, you know, but like genuinely every time, you know, I'm given an opportunity, I am so grateful for it. I really am.
No, I love that. I love that. What about your time? Like, again, we talked about the move, but what about like your time winding down on the indies over here? Because again, like I said earlier, it felt like as a fan watching it, like you're like, oh, something's happening, but we didn't know what. Obviously, you knew what. But like there was the worry like, oh my God, she's leaving. What's happening?
Yeah.
But like, how did that feel for you? Like those matches where it was very like evident even to fans that like something was about to happen.
I'm like, I know I come across very like loud and I guess outlandish and outspoken and like aggressive. I don't know, but I am like an extremely private person outside of the ring. And for me, it was super important that I kept this to myself and only let, you know, people that were very close to me know, because I feel like that wrestlers can be too accessible. And I think fans feel like they can get access whenever they want and can know whatever they want. So for me, it was very much what's the word? For me, it was a strategy. I really didn't want anyone to know, but at the same time, I didn't want to just abruptly, I'm in Japan now. So I did it in a kind of a slow paced way where it was like, maybe she's going to quit. Maybe she's, you know, going somewhere, but I didn't want to specifically say anything. And that was just a personal choice for me, because I do think that some people can latch onto it and like take away from it, or, you know, put their 2 cents in that I don't want to hear, you know. So I really wanted to do it for myself. So those last couple of months were very, very emotionally draining. because it felt like I was saying goodbye every single weekend. Because every weekend I was in France, I was in Germany, I was in England, I was in Scotland, I was in Wales. Like, it was just so many times where I was like walking out of the ring, kind of looking back, being like, that's it, go backstage, say my goodbyes. And it was like that every weekend for a very long time. And it was very emotionally draining. So when it came to the final goodbye, which was in OTT against my best friend, Lyra Valkyria, I just was like, I was done. I was so exhausted. But I was so grateful for everything, and like, what a way to go out wrestling my best friend. And I got to wrestle my best friend Katie Harvey as well in Fight Factory. And that's where we kind of teased the, I'm going somewhere, but I can't let you know where yet, because it was very important to do it in my home, which is Fight Factory. But yeah, the last couple of months were tough. I won't lie. I was very exhausted, emotionally and physically, because I genuinely do feel like I gave 2024 my best work. I really put the effort in. So yeah, the last couple of months were tough.
Yeah, no, for sure. For sure. I was gonna say, like, as a tangent before I get into like a couple of the specific matches that you mentioned, like you mentioned in terms of, again, like 2024 being your best body of work. I think like it seemed like that as well from a fan base. I think that's the moment that, like, again, because I know that the age is such a like looming thing as a wrestler, right? That that like you only have a certain amount of years in you before you have to have use just anyway. But it felt like 2024 was the year where, like, again, people sat up and were like, hang on, Debbie Keitel's still got a huge amount to offer. Like, not that you hadn't before that, but like the fact that like you seem to just step up another level. Like you said, I think like even for yourself, like you said, like it felt like you were like a bit stagnant in terms of like 2023, like what's next sort of thing, what's coming next. And it felt like 2024 was you pushing that to that next level, being like, hang on, I can still go here. Like I can still be at the very top.
Yeah.
And that must have meant a lot to you to know that personally, just for yourself, to know that you had that other level that you can still reach.
Absolutely. Like I remember the show where I realized, no, I'm gonna stick around. And it was my North Wrestling debut in Newcastle. And at that point I had said to the promoter, listen, I think this is like a one and done. I'd love to work with you before I kind of finish up. And he was like, oh yeah, absolutely. Because we tried to get dates together, but they just never matched up. They always clashed. So we were both delighted that we could finally get a date together. And we did the match, and afterwards I came backstage and I just couldn't believe the reception I got for the match. And I think it was because I just threw caution to the wind. I didn't have a promoter telling me, go out there and do this, this, and this. I didn't have anyone in my ear telling me you should do this, you should do that. I just went out there and I had the match I wanted to have. And I couldn't believe how well received it was, to a point where the promoter pulled me aside and he was like, are you sure this is the right move for you to leave? And I'm like, I got back to him straight away and I was like, you're right. Like I had this overwhelming feeling of like, you're not done. You have so much to give. And it's unfortunate that so many of us allow other people dictate our, our moveset, our journey, what we want, what we don't want. If you just turn off all the noise, stop listening to other people, because they do not have your best interests at heart. You know you more than anyone. You cannot sell yourself better than you. So don't put that power into other people's hands. You make sure that you're controlling everything you're doing, whether it's your training, your gear, how you want to present yourself, your moveset. It has to be signature to you, and it has to, you have to be able to believe in what you're doing. And sometimes when other people kind of jump in and try and like dictate what you do and stuff like that, it can throw you off. And I see so many people caught up in that web of, but they said I shouldn't do this, but I shouldn't do that. And it's like, who are these people? What have they done? Would you switch places with them? Probably not. So, sometimes it's good. And I actually had this conversation with Joe Hendry. Sometimes it's good to go back to the very beginning of your journey. What was I doing? What was I wearing? Was I just happy to be there? Was I happy? Was that the last time you were happy in wrestling, because you have allowed so many people to dictate what you do? And we had a really good chat about that. And I realized that in order to move forward, I had to go back and figure out why I started, why I want to do this, because I think so many people forget why they're doing this and why they started. And it's because you love professional wrestling. It's something that you're so passionate about, but you can lose that passion along the way. So it's important to go back, almost like, what's that Christmas movie?
Right, the old one. I wonder. It's a Wonderful Life.
No, like the Muppets Christmas Carol, where
That's very different. That's very.
yeah, it is very different. Where the ghosts of Christmas past brings you to show you like your life, and do you really want it to end like this because you've allowed other people get in your head? You know what I mean?
I love just sorry on a tangent. I love how like you could have just said a Christmas Carol. The fact you put the Muppets out there in that was
Yeah, it has to be
it's a Muppet. It's got to be specific.
only the Muppets version.
That is the elite version. We're not going to lie, right? That is the best version.
So I think it's important to remember that it's your journey. And in the beginning, you're essentially paying for this journey. So why are you listening to other people? Why are you miserable because you're letting other people dictate what you do? So that's what 2024 was. It was like, you don't want me? Okay, that's fine. All these other people want me. So that's fine. There was no more, I'm going to fit into this tiny box so that you'll use me. No, because at the end of the day, what I can offer and what I can do is unlike anyone else on the European scene. So why would I be like Johnny Kickpads because today you need, a shooter? No, I'm Debbie Keitel. I'm loud, I strike, and I'm going to put on a good show. And if you don't like that, then you don't need to use me. And that was kind of the mentality I had throughout the year. And like, I'm so grateful for the companies that really saw something like, going back to Progress, Rev Pro, Eve, North, OTT, Fight Factory, see, like the list is endless. And it was all because I just did me for a change instead of listening to other people.
Yeah, it sounds like Debbie Keitel refound Debbie Keitel.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. Like that's incredible. That's incredible. Talk to me about that match with Lyra in terms of like as a send off, but also as a culmination, I guess, of like looking back on like what you both achieved in your careers and where you both are now. Like, how much did that mean to you, really?
So much, because she had laughed and joked because like by the way, like that news, like that happened like the time in which I found out that was happening and when the match actually happened was very short. She had joked and laughed about it. She was like, "Oh, save your last match for me, save it for me." And I was like, "Okay, like that is never going to happen. Like the WWE will never let that happen." And next thing I get a text, and it's like a couple of weeks away from the actual show, and it was like, "This is happening. Are you up for it?" And I was like, "What a way to return and leave." So I absolutely could not turn that down. Like if you go back and watch that match, she's making her entrance and I'm already crying because I know like this is the perfect way to end our story. She is where she wants to be. I am where I want to be. And we both get to go off into the sunset and live our dream, And it's unfortunate that not all dreams kind of are on the same path, but there's so much respect and so much love for each other that even though I'm here, I know she supports me. And even though she's over there, I support her. So
I love that. I love that so much. That's amazing. That's amazing. I want to get your take on another friendship that you've had. Again, the split has gone a very different way because I'm sure you've kept up with everything Anita Vaughn's been doing since you've been gone.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, she won like the Femme Fatale. Like that was incredible. Huge moment. That was like the skyrocket for her, it seemed like, in terms of like the big push where like she's just been on an absolute tear since then. But I remember that last match you had in Eve and you dropped the tag belts and you said to her, "Show the world who Anita Vaughan is." And she has taken that very seriously. Like she has gone a very different direction to what I think we all expected. What are your thoughts on that?
For me personally, Anita for a very long time was very much an agreeable people pleaser, and she'd do exactly what you wanted to say or exactly what you asked her to do, and she'd say her please and thank yous, and she'd do absolutely anything for anyone. And I noticed that she wasn't getting the recognition that she deserved. She was putting in the work on the mats. She was flying all over the UK. She moved to the UK. She's super popular across Europe, in mainland Europe. And, she was doing so much and she wasn't getting the recognition. And I knew if she just stopped people pleasing and just went after everything for herself, that things would work out. And look, maybe the way she did it or went about it wasn't the right thing to do. But for me personally, having been in positions like that in the past, if you want to be noticed, you have to do things that are going to get you noticed. And I believe mission has been accomplished. We're all talking about her. Me and you are sitting here right now discussing her career. You know what I mean? Sometimes you have to take action into your own hands and stop letting people walk all over you, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. For sure. I mean, I know, because that's the thing. I know it's been a while since we last spoke. We had you like back on like during my first year of doing grapple theory, but like now, like all these years on, like again, we've had spoken to Anita a couple of times, and it feel like I said to her that first show that I got on, that first Eve show she was on, like she came out and you just look and you're just like powerhouse, incredible. Like the power she had, the strength she had, the way she like goes at people in the ring was something like I was like, damn, this is incredible. But it felt like you say, like she needed that extra edge, that extra bite, that extra like I'm not going to be fucking around with anyone sort of thing. And it feels like she has that now. It feels like that edge is there now, that grit is there, especially again in Eve, where she's just like this heel persona she is now in Eve is like insane. Like she's an absolute monster at the minute.
Yeah. Like no more than myself. Sometimes you just have to let someone go and let them fly. Like she's a bird. She cannot be held down. You have to just let her go. You have to just let her fly. She's uncontrollable. She needs to find her way. And in doing that, like look at what she's achieved. Sometimes if you just let people go, you know, they'll do amazing things. So I'm so glad she was given the ball and she's run with it, and it's incredible.
Yeah, and that's great. Like again, like you say, like in terms of you finding out, you know, who Debbie Keitel is and who you want Debbie Keitel to be, and being more like that as well. Like it seems like Anita, again, she's got this like heel attitude now, but also like on the other side, she's got hyperactive with Sapphire Re, where she can just be fun and like crazy and like weird, and like it feels like that's like the perfect combo for her in terms of who Anita Vaughn really is.
Yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. And I love that she's just, what you see is genuinely who Anita Vaughn is. She's just hyper out the yin. Like she's like exactly what you're seeing is who she really is. So to be your authentic self in professional wrestling, like unreal.
Yeah, I love that. Love that for a big up Anita. Big up Anita. Well, I mean, that's all been very nice. Again, we got a bit of time here, so we're going to get into a little fun feature we have. That I think you'll enjoy, because this feature here is called Dishing the Dirt, and I'm going to have you dish some dirt on your locker room mates. It could be out in Japan, it can be back here from the UK and Ireland. I'm going to ask you some questions, and I want you to let me know who comes to mind for each one.
Mm-hmm.
So the first one is who's always running late?
Oh, Katie Harvey.
Yeah.
Didn't even have to think about that. She'll walk in, baby in arm, gym bag, rucksack, cooking a stew at the same time. She's like, sorry.
Be fair though, that's very like she's got a lot going on. That sort of makes sense.
She's an animal. She's Superwoman. I don't know how she does it. Insane. So we forgive her. We forgive her.
Yeah. The next one is the next one I always say is perfect for like road trips, like you carpool with, because it's who has the worst music taste.
Oh, who has the worst music taste? Do you know what? I have never been that unfortunate. Every time I've been in a car, the music has always been good. No. Honestly, yeah.
Okay, that's handy. I've got to ask, because again, I remember this because I know that Anita said this when we spoke to her. So she said Katie Harvey because she can't do the pop punk. But where do you stand on that?
On the pop punk, I would be, I'd be on the fence. Like I like 90s, like original, like punk, like Green Day, Offspring. But Katie Harvey takes it to another level now. There's only so much Bowling for Soup you can listen to. Actually, Katie Harvey, worst music taste.
I tell you what, now I'm going to say this because there's to Anita as well. Justice for Katie Harvey, because there is never enough Bowling for Soup you can listen.
Oh, listen. She's addicted. She's obsessed.
Bowling for Soup and elite pop punk. That's all you're constant fun. Where else are you going to find songs like that?
Fair.
Justice needed, but no, that's fair. Like, okay, I get it. The next one is my favorite on the list by far, because I think it's a very crucial one. It's who in any locker room that you've been in would you, under no circumstances, let a family member date?
Oh. let them date.
Yeah. So like you're at like a family reunion and one of your family walks in with this certain wrestler on their arm and you're like, no, that's not happening. Not allowed.
J Money, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd be like, you can shake your money maker all the way out that door. Stay away from my friends.
Too dangerous. Too dangerous.
Too dangerous. Too dangerous.
No, it's smart. I think that's smart. The next one from the places you work, I feel like there's a plethora to choose from here. 'Cause we've had a lot of names mentioned, but it's outside the ring. Who has the worst music? Sorry, who has the worst dress sense?
It's a tie between Anita Vaughan and Katie Harvey. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like because they're similar or they're very different, but like
they're exactly the same. They both dress like soccer moms, or like they rolled out of bed and just fell on clothes. And every time I see them, I do the Miranda Priestley.
Just the side eye, just like. That's exactly how I describe it though. When people are like, oh, I don't know. I'm like, that's the thing, isn't it? The people like you look at that they come in and you're like, what are you wearing? Like, what is that?
You know what? They're so happy and they're comfortable. Do you know what I mean? So.
And that's the key thing, right? That's the key thing.
Yeah.
Well, the next one's on the nicer end. It's Debbie Keitel, you've got to a show, nightmare has struck, you've forgotten your gear. Your gear is incredible, by the way. Like, I genuinely think you have some of the best gear game on the scene. Like, you absolutely smash it, and it like suits you so perfectly.
Thank you so much.
But you've forgotten your gear for a show, and you don't have any time to go buy any new ones. You've got to rush to the locker room and borrow someone's gear. But we're talking one size fits all. You can pick whoever you want. Whose gear do you look at and you're like, yeah, I could pull that off?
Oh, that's so easy. Nina Samuels.
that is the answer we've had more than any other.
She's iconic. She gets it. Everything, like she designs everything, and it's always perfect. I always, if you showed me a picture of gear, I'd be able to tell it was hers straight away. It's just iconic.
Yeah. Do the entrance well. You get the hat as well. Like it's all.
Yeah, the little hat. Yeah.
It all flows so beautifully. You wouldn't be able to bring your coffee out with you though. That's the problem.
No, because I'd be too focused on the hat not falling. And yeah.
No, Nina is the answer we get more than any other. I think it's elite gear game, isn't it? It's incredible.
Yes. If not Nina, Alex Windsor. I think her new gear, her bodysuits are amazing. They're so good.
Yeah, Alex is insane. I've got to ask you on that while I've got you here, because I know you work with Alex a lot. Like Alex for AEW, that's again, like we talk about like making dreams happen, like the dreams are what you want them to be, right? And it seems like that's what Alex has wanted for so long. Like that must be delighted for her.
I'm so happy for her. I'm genuinely like, everyone's always like, you're killing it. No, you're killing it. We're all killing it. The fact that the girls are just like on fire. Rio, Kanji, Nina, Alex, like Anita, like everyone is just doing so good in their own lanes. You know what I mean? So it's just, I'm so happy for her. It's amazing.
Yeah, and now like you say, it's very different to like your send-off, because your send-off sort of like when you was Alex, I think everyone sort of knew it was happening at a certain point. But then like she had the match with Shuri at Eve, and then she's just like, oh, this is my last match. And I'm like, oh, okay. Have no announcement or anything? What?
Yeah. Sometimes people just want to do it their way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, smashing it. Big up Alex as well. Big up Alex. Well, back to the questions. The next one is again some great choices there. The next one is who would throw the best party? Well, I always say best party. Who would throw the party Debbie Keitel would most want to be at?
Oh. Honestly, Nina Samuels.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I know the cocktails would be unreal, and she'll have baked a load of goodies. So yeah, absolutely.
That's the combo, isn't it? That's the. Yeah. I was going to ask you for the gear. Do you think if you put Nina's gear on, you get the baking talent? Do you think that comes intrinsically with it?
That would be the only reason I'd put on Nina's. No, I would hope that talent came with the gear. Yes.
Yeah, right. It'd be nice, wouldn't it? It'd be nice. Yeah. And like, I mean, not you have to, but like, it's like you put all of a sudden, you're like, hell, I can bake incredibly.
Yeah. Wow, I'm a chef. What the hell?
Then you got in the kitchen in that gear. I can't imagine that's the most comfortable.
That's how Nina makes the brownies. She's in the little.
Right. She like. I feel like that. There's no other way, right? She's dressed like that 4/7, right?
She should have a cooking show.
Yes.
Yeah. Ready, steady, Nina.
Yeah, yes, Nina, if you're watching this, we need this. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got to be like she's got to be in the gear making the stuff though.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like very Nigella,
Mm.
Microwave,
Yeah.
Ovan, like very like, yeah.
Very demure, very
Yes, very demure, yes.
Yeah, I think that's a great show pitch. I'll tell you what, like someone's got to fund this. Someone could,
Yeah,
like,
absolutely. Yes.
yeah, let's get it done. Amazing. And the final one I say is the most important one. And to be fair, even in form of tag team partners, you've got a plethora to choose from here. But even aside from that, there's a lot of names. It's who would you choose to be your partner in the zombie apocalypse?
Oh, that's so tough.
It's a tricky one, isn't it? I always say it's tough because you got to think what you need that person for.
Yeah. Well, I can't pick Katie because she'd be late. So I'd already be dead. If I pick Lyra, she'd be like, come on, we'll just go for it. And then we both be dead.
Anita's like the muscle you can use.
Yeah, she's got the muscle, but like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's tough.
Is she too hyperactive? That's the question.
Yeah, I feel like she might like be a bit too much and they'd just be like, you know, you're dead because you're annoying. You know,
Sapphire along and then Chaos is just gonna.
Yeah, they'd just be shot straight away because they're so annoying. Do you know who I bring? Amira. Yeah, Amira Blair. Yes. Yeah.
I think that's a great, because again, we've not had, like, I want to get your thoughts on why Amira, but it's crazy because like Amira has never been said up until like my literal last, like 2 of my last 3 recordings. People have said Amira for this. I'm like, finally, she's getting the recognition.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you know what? She talked the ears off them. So they'd be like, we're just going to leave because you're annoying me. And then afterwards, when we're the only people left in civilization, oh my God, the crack you'd have. Because she's great crack, you know what I mean? So yeah, I feel like she'd be a good companion because like, I think Irish girls are just fearless, especially Northern Irish girls. So I think between the two of us now, we get a lot done.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's a good choice. I think it's a good choice, an important choice to be made, and you made it. So I'm very happy for that. That's brilliant. Well, that leads to, we're closing like nearly to the end of recording here. I've got a couple of final things I want to ask you. The first is, I'm going to have you not sit on the fence here again, like with the Anita stuff almost, but I'm going to have you not sit on the fence here because I know that Progress is somewhere else, of course, that you've worked a lot with, and these 2 people are very close to go up. But again, coming up at Progress, one of them is going to be leaving, Kanji or Nina Samuels. I mean, where do you stand on that? Who's leaving Progress?
It's so tough. And for me personally, like I genuinely hope Kanji knows the impact she's had on the European scene because she is genuinely one of the unsung heroes of professional wrestling in, you know, all of Europe. And I feel like she never gets the credit she deserves. She's so underrated. And I genuinely hope she wakes up every day knowing how much we all love her because she's just an outstanding talent. Nina Samuels is one of the best in the world. She's iconic. She's incredible. She's, oh my God, she's just, if you were to do a, you know, make a wrestler, a creative pro wrestler, it would be Nina. For me, I want Kanji to stay around because I personally think she has so much more to do. And I don't think we've seen the entire package yet. You asking me to pick between Kanji and Nina is like, it's so
me. I know. I'm sorry.
It's awful. The 2 of the kindest, most genuine people I've met in wrestling that have done nothing but look after me since I started. Oh. I'm going to go with my gut and I'm going to back Kanji because I think we haven't seen the best of Kanji. We've seen incredible things, but I believe, and I hope she believes, that there's so much more to do. Yeah.
I love that. And like you say with Kanji, I feel like there's almost that similarity between you and her last year. Because again, last year for Grapple Theory, I picked Kanji as our breakout star of the year. And it felt like she had that year where people again like finally sat up and took notice. Like even though she's been around for so long, people were like, oh hell yeah, Kanji's incredible. And it felt like you had a very similar year. And it feels like, and again, like I don't want to dwell on it, but like in terms of going back to like the longevity thing, it feels like, especially in wrestling, you're never it's never too late to have your breakout year. You don't
It is
starting out. Yeah.
Yeah, it is never too late. It could be when you're starting out, you have your breakout year, and then because you're so new, you reach a certain height and you can't get back there. So I think it's great that people dip in, maybe dip out for a while, coast for a while, and then, hit their peak. But I believe so much that kanji has so much to offer. And it frustrates me so much that people don't recognize her talent. And if they do, I personally think they're being too quiet about it. We should be screaming her name. We should be giving her flowers. Look what she has done in Rev Pro. Look what she's done in progress. She's a fantastic talent. And I genuinely hope she wakes up every day knowing that, we think she's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, big up Kanji, big up Kanji. Well, there's been a lot of bigging up other wrestlers. There's been a lot of, a little bit of dishing dirt on other wrestlers. We're going to end the podcast recording here with a quick fire round we've got called Anatomy of a Pro Wrestler. And this is about you, Debbie Keitel, but this is basically what makes you you. So I'm going to list you some questions and you let me know what comes to mind again.
Okay.
So the first one is, what is your favorite post-pinfall pig out?
Post-pinfall pig out. Oh, a big, dirty cheeseburger.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah. Proper.
Or Chinese, but it has to be an Irish Chinese.
Yeah, they're very different. I've seen this a lot on social media that an Irish Chinese is very different to like a British Chinese.
Yeah. And I think Amira Blair can back me up on this as well. There's a big difference, and Irish Chinese elite.
Is it? Okay. Yeah. All right. If I go to Ireland, I'm going to have one just to see because I'm very curious.
Love spice bag. Yep.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. So what is a spice bag?
So it's like fries, chicken, vegetables, and it's all like super spicy, like salt and pepper and all these different spices. And they shake it up and they tie it up really tight to keep the heat in, and sublime.
That does sound pretty good. Okay, I'll give it a go. The next one, only the first two are food based, not all of them, but the next one it's the classic, like, what would your death row last meal be?
Honestly, I'm so basic. It would be cheeseburger, fries, and a vanilla milkshake.
Nice. Keep it classic, right? Yep. Go out with a bang. I like it.
Or a heart attack,
Yeah. Well, then they can't do it for you. They can't kill you if you kill yourself first.
That's so true. Actually, I can't.
The next one is, we talked about music earlier. The next one is, what is the song that gets you the most hyped?
That's so tough.
You were pretty hyped at Eve when you did the time warp with Anita Vaughan. I remember that.
Do you know what it is? And it's just something. It's my go-to when I want to get hyped, and it's Donna Summer.
Yeah.
And it's Hot Stuff. The minute I hear that intro, I'm like, we're live, let's go. Like, I have my headphones in and I'm just walking around backstage and I look like, I'm in the zone. And then just before I go through the curtain, I'm like, Hot Stuff. So
great choice. It's a great choice. The next one is, what is the movie that you show the locker on?
Did I show them?
Yeah.
It would have to be Almost Famous. That's my favorite.
Great choice. Yeah. Love it. I love it. The next one's a throwback because it's like, what was your first job?
My first job. God, what? Oh, I was a paper girl.
Oh, classic.
Yes, so embarrassing. Imagine one day being like, Debbie Keitel used to deliver newspapers here.
That's what it's going to be. There's going to be Platzi stuff. It's going to be like, this is the first house Debbie Keitel delivered a paper to. That's going to be, that's what a moment. Incredible. The next one is, what is your, it gets a little deep because what is your greatest fear?
Oh, my greatest fear is looking back and wishing that I was more authentic and more myself. And I think that's why I'm driven that way, to just always be myself no matter what. Because for me, I think when you're not being your authentic self, you're kind of dying inside. And I would hate to look back and be like, I could have done this, I could have done that, I could have done all these things. But instead, no, I let other people dictate what I was going to do. So for me, it's, if I allowed, if I wasn't true to myself, I think that's my, biggest fear. Yeah.
No, I love that. And again, like that spurs you on, and I think that's so important.
Yeah.
No, I love that. I love that for you. The next one is what is your favorite animal?
Um, I have to say cats. I have to say cats because I miss my cat George Michael so much. Yes, his name is George Michael. Yes, we're big fans of George Michael.
It's a great name. It's a great name.
Yeah. But I miss him so much. Yes, I have to say cats.
No, I love that. The next one is the only wrestling one on the list. Is what is your favorite match stipulation? Either to be in or to watch, or both.
I genuinely love watching British rounds matches. I think they're so interesting and so different. I love like a silly stipulation, like where it's just random, like, you know, only bins are legal, or like, you know, like I don't know, just I love silliness. I think we need more silliness in wrestling.
Yeah, because that's silly is always fun. I love a technical match, but I always veer on the
Same.
side.
I like the wrestling I watch is always technical. Like I love Owen Hart, I love Bret Hart. But if I'm at a show and I get to be a fan, I want silly.
Yeah. Like for example, like you and Anita Vaughan dressing up as Ab Fab, right?
Yeah. Which 50% of the audience understood.
And actually, to be honest, from what I know, 50% of the tag team understood as well.
Yeah, this is very true. Very true.
Amazing. The next one is only a couple more. The next one's sorry. The next one's what is your favorite place in the world?
Oh, honestly, Japan. Yeah. Japan or New York.
Love it. And the final one then on the opposite end of that almost is what is your dream holiday destination?
Oh, right now it's Florida, but it's just to be able to see Lyra. Yeah.
That's a good enough reason.
Yeah. But I think I would love, I'd love to go to Korea. Yeah, like I want to go to Romania. Oh, there's so many places. I love traveling. I love culture.
Me and my partner are finding out in a minute. We're trying to plan holidays and we're like, there are too many places we want to go. How do you pick?
Because I'm at a stage as well now where I want to do the museums and the history and all that kind of stuff. I don't want to sit by a pool for 7 days. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So somewhere where there's lots of culture. But right now, if I could do like a speedy, stop over in Ireland and then go grab Katie Harvey and and Anita and bring them over to Florida to see Lyra, that would be ideal.
Yeah, little trip over, love it. Irish girls invade Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah, love it. Brilliant. Well, that brings us to the end of recording. I've got one final question for you, Debbie Keitel, but it's not a question that I've thought of because we have a closing feature here where our last guest leaves a question for our next guest without any knowledge of who they're going to be leaving it for. So this person didn't know they're leaving it for you. You're not allowed to know who left it for you. It's all very out of context. And I can tell you now, this person wants to get you in trouble. This person, they didn't know it was going to be you, but this person wanted whoever was next to be in real trouble.
Okay.
So the question you've been left here is why is RevPro better than Progress?
Oh my God. Was it Andy Q that you had on by any chance?
It wasn't, but it feels like it should have been, doesn't it? It feels like it should have.
I am going to answer this as politically correct as possible. Just to confirm, more successful?
No, why is RevPro better than Progress?
Okay.
Not more successful necessarily.
Okay. So why is RevPro? Okay. For me, and I'm going to take the personal perspective here. My personal relationship with Andy Q over the years has been incredible. And during the pandemic, he checked in on me more than any other promoter. And he has genuinely helped my career so much without probably even knowing. And for him to give me that opportunity at the Copper Box to wrestle in front of over 5,000 people, I will never, ever forget that. So I guess for me personally, the closeness and I suppose the community and family aspect of Rev Pro, for me personally, is probably why I would lean more towards Rev Pro.
Yeah, very diplomatic though. I respect that.
Yes, but and in saying that, like, progress is fantastic. The locker room's kind of the same. So, like, everyone works everywhere. There's no competition. It's just a personal connection that I have with Rev Pro, because if it wasn't for me debuting at Queen of the Ring in 2019, I would never have broken into the UK. And, you know, post-pandemic, I would never have been able to go back to wrestling as quick as I did if it wasn't for Andy Q reaching out a hand and pulling me over to the UK. And same again, when it came to my kind of big year of 2024, Andy Q was right there and he was like, come on, we're ready, let's go.
Yeah.
So for me, it's more of a personal connection and a friendship and a community, you know, and that's why I love Deanna in Japan. It's the same. It's not just, you know, all these different people, you know, telling you this and that and whatever. It's genuine friendship and family and community. So yeah.
No, I love that. I love that. That's amazing. That's a lovely way to end, I think. A lovely way to end. And so that does bring us to a close. Debbie Keitel, thanks so much for coming back on the Rhapsody podcast. I hope you've enjoyed it.
Thank you so much.
And from myself as well, just congratulations on everything you've been doing. Congratulations on getting to Japan, on all the work you've been doing out there. It's genuinely so heartwarming to see you absolutely thriving at the minute.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
And that brings us to a close with our closing remark of giving our guests the final word. So Debbie Keitel, for anyone out in Japan who sees you on a show, or maybe when you're back over here at a certain point, but hopefully you'll be staying there for a while longer, where anyone sees you or a match online or anything, if someone checks out Debbie Keitel, why is Debbie Keitel going to steal the show?
Why is Debbie Keitel going to steal the show? Because she's unique and there's nobody like her.